I would be remiss in my responsibilities if I didn't give everyone who listens some New Year's message. Everybody says Happy New Year, but what is this happiness business all about? I believe that each of us have our own definitions of what it means to be happy. But for sure, one thing is certain. We ourselves become the biggest barriers for our own happiness. We block and sabotage our efforts to be happy. Let's take a look at this. If we carry fear around with us, and we allow fear to mediate the way we look at the world, the way we make decisions, the way we choose friends, that's a block to our happiness. If we lack curiosity about the world around us, lack a real sense of, wow, questions, which force us to investigate more and more life's mysteries, we block our happiness. If we feel we're not good enough, if our self-esteem is in the cellar, and we carry that energy around with us, then once again, we're erecting barriers for us to feel alive and joyful and happy. Most of this business has to do with the fact that a lot of our egos contain negative thoughts and negative emotions. A lot of those thoughts have to be, anger for others, or self-anger, or feelings that things just aren't right and I can't do anything about it. So the New Year's message is pretty simple. But in order to really actualize that message, we have to learn more about the tools to move through negativity. And that message, get the hell out of your own way. All of these self-imposed blocks are based on things like social conditioning, the things that your parents told you, your teachers, the things that made you not feel good about yourself, social programming. And then there's life trauma, things that are deep hurts that have embedded themselves so much into your heart that they dominate your thinking and your actions on a moment-by-moment basis. So getting out of your own way means in some way addressing this negativity. The way to address it is you must begin looking at yourself and the world through a different prism, through a different set of eyes. And to do that effectively, you have to understand some basics. And these basics are understood not by the cognitive self, but by the soul, the spiritual self. It's important to understand that all of these thoughts and emotions that you generate about the world are not real. They're illusions. And most of the time, they're mental clutter. They're stuff that gets in the way. And if you define yourself by this stuff, by these mental, emotional thoughts, then you're going to be heading up the wrong alley. You're going to be constructing an artificial self that has really nothing to do with your true nature, your authentic self. The self that is the spiritual person as well as the physical and the mental. We all carry around with us physical energies, mental energies, and also energies of higher consciousness and higher conscious awareness. And I truly believe that we are spiritual beings doing time in a physical body. Now, there are many mysteries in the world. Just get up before dawn and look at a sunset, and you'll be experiencing one level of mystery. Look at the stars in the firmaments and recognize that each of these stars are suns like our own. There's a lot of mystery out there. And unless we move to a point where we can at least begin to explore, investigate, and examine the mystery, then our lives are going to be governed by the ego self, which is often mediated in a market exchange society by what we lack. Oh, I lack more money. That's what I want. I lack a loving relationship. That's what I want. If you haven't eaten for 2 days, then your God becomes food. If I'm talking to you right now and talking about enlightenment or higher consciousness, and your bladder is full, guess what? To hell with my enlightenment. That's your concern. As you empty your bladder, you'll feel enlightened. So what's this idea of looking at life with a new prism of conscious awareness all about? Well, many sages from all different religious faiths say that the gateway to more understanding is quiet, quieting the mind, not turning off the mind, not being no mind, but rather being a witness or an observer to these processes of thoughts and emotions as they give rise in our conscious awareness. That's a good step. The fact of the matter is that we are so often guided by forces, social forces and ego forces, that we neither understand or can control. So, in my counseling work, there's a strong emphasis not just on paying attention to your story or your psychodrama, but an attempt to investigate higher levels of your awareness. And just accessing them a little bit changes your focus, puts on a more intense lens for you to examine things around you, and also allows you the quiet space to begin to see that you're so much more than your thoughts and emotions. So what's this all about? Getting out of your own way in 2019 and beyond is all about putting the ego in its proper perspective, putting your story in its proper perspective, being curious about a very interesting and complex world. In other words, doing self-engineering. This is what my practice is all about. Understanding your drama, putting your story in perspective, and then really being cognizant of the fact that there are many dimensions of reality. And sometimes our dimensions of reality are very, very narrow. The more we can expand these dimensions of reality, the more potential we have to live life fully and joyfully with a great deal of inner peace. So I invite you to join me this year in this exploration. If you'd like to contact me, I welcome your phone calls. I'm here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Dr. Barry Cooney, 505-220-6657. This coming year, I'll be doing workshops, group work, work on the internet, work with couples, and of course the individual counseling and higher awareness work. But the answer here isn't in Barry Cooney or anyone else. Barry Cooney is only a mirror to your inner self. And so, in order for me to do my work effectively, I have to get out of the way. So I have to get out of the way to get you to get out of the way. So I wish you a happy New Year in all dimensions. I look forward to further contact. Have a great day.